Hi guys, and welcome to the follow-up of my my other video, which was Imaginary Friends vlog. I'm going to do a follow-up of it, and none of my imaginary friends are with me on this video, unfortunately. Andy's gone out. Charles is gone home. I needed to call Tom about something on one of my toy phones which I got. So that's basically what I need to do. I needed to get the cash card from my other office, but it's a bit cold to go down the garden tonight, so yeah. I'm sort of between tiredness and not. And I have my ball in my hand, which is for it's a great stimming toy. I've only got 2 of these balls. One of them's the less spiky one, which I keep in my bag. And I will do a video on my stimming toys. I only have 2, but I'm building a sensory board, and I was going to get a wooden board, but I'm now just going to get a very, very cheap chopping board, and I'll show you guys, the whole process. I'll do Facebook Live video and stick it onto YouTube. And I've made a new playlist on the channel just called My Imaginary Vlogs and Me, and I've actually I want to come on here and say I'm not doing the midweek vlogs anymore. In the midweek instead, I'm doing my autistic diary, which is going in this playlist. All the Magic Silver Room stuff and the Mind Mob stuff is being done on a Friday and a Saturday. So I'm just doing an update as a follow-up because the last video was a little bit angry. But I thought I would talk about Charles and Rosemary and all my imaginary friends and colleagues, because I work with a few of them. I work with them in the office next door and the office down the garden. And we keep the till in the office down the garden at the moment. We're trying to have 2 cash registers, but the main one's staying here down the garden just because I'm lazy and can't be bothered moving it. We're trying to get a way of swiping our card, getting the card machine, but it might be a way of just doing it through Amazon, so we can pretend to use Amazon, but we get another way of setting it up. So I'll talk through that on a Magic Silver Room video. But I'll be seeing Andy tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow we'll have a Q&A video with Andy, and this will be that'll be the last time I do on Friday and Saturday, and then the next time I will do all my autistic videos on the Wednesdays and the Thursdays, just to keep this channel fresh with content. But I got a bit angry on the last video, so there's no angry on this video. But yeah, one of my imaginary friends is getting drunk at a bar. He's drinking in Southport actually, with his friends, and and tomorrow when I see him, he'll be talking about his night. Usually he has a hangover, depending on how much he's drank. But he's trying to move flats at the moment because he too lives in a basement like me. And he I'm trying to do a Lego movie, or I'm trying to do an animated movie about his flat. So I've been trying to get a friend to do some stuff, but it might mean that I just draw some pictures and put them on Facebook. Um, and I'll probably do an iMovie thing, vlog on week where I put some animated pictures in, and there'll be Andy's flat. Um, so yeah, there'll be Andy's flat basically with his things in. But he's moving to a maisonette in Hart Street, and I've kind of made it on a house which is like where like my grand's friend is one of my grand's friends is a landlady. She lives in a Victorian house, so I kind of made it identical, and I only this is a different landlady, and she's got a different name. I actually spoke to her on the phone today because Andy was in the toilet, so I had to leave him a message when he came out. But she's really nice. Her name is Maisie, and she has the house. It's a big house, and because her kids have gone college and stuff, and she didn't really want to move out the house, so she's made it into a block of flats. And because she has the bottom half of the house, and because there's she did some work on the loft, converted the loft. The top half of the house is the maisonette where Andy's living, but she's redone it so they've got their own front door and their own back door, and they've got a garage, and they've got a balcony facing outward and everything. So she spent a lot of money doing this. I'd say over £30,000. And actually, I think she was one of our customers. Anyway, I was for another project I was doing, but she's a landlord and she does a lot of the stuff. She re-renovates the property every year, and she's got a few people living in there and stuff like that. But my friend Andy and Rosemary, Rosemary's Andy's girlfriend, the place where they're living at the moment it's a big house like this where I'm living. They've got flats up above, but round the back they've got flats, and then some of those flats are bed sits. So some of them have to share a kitchen and a bathroom. Now apparently, due to some of the problems, the issues they had there, each of them have got their own kitchens and bathrooms. I think the people upstairs share, on the first floor, they share a bathroom because they had no problems with it. But Andy and Rosemary, they got a shower room installed in the kitchen and everything. And they've got a garage that's got 2 floors. So basically, the person upstairs can go to the garage downstairs. But I think they blocked it off because Andy's ex-girlfriend, when she lived above him, she was causing problems for Andy when they were splitting up. She kept coming downstairs to the garage, I believe. So, but Rosemary lives. It's a 1-bedroom flat. They originally gonna have 2 bedrooms, but anyway. And Andy likes his gaming when he's not working, so he's had to, and he's got lots of computers, so he's had to. A friend is having to take care of some of his computers before they move, and they're moving. They're moving in June now, I believe. They were supposed to move in March, but there's a few issues, so they're slowly doing, piece by piece. They're having to move stuff to their friend's house, who lives in Kew, on the Kew estate, and they're having to move everything. My imaginary friend Andy's got about 6 servers. He's got server racks. Apparently, he's got server racks already there as well. And he's got boxes of things. He's got a gaming machine and a music center and everything. And I think this morning he was telling me that he's having to buy a brand new fridge and chest freezer for the brand new flat, and that's having to go to their friend's house in Kew as well. So apparently he's storing it in his loft because he's got a bigger loft. So yeah, and the friend Andy's friend Reese, he works for an energy drinks company, and he works 24 hours for 3 days, and then he comes back, and then he has 2 days off, and then works 3 or 4 days for 24 hours at this energy drinks company, promoting, and he was promoting, left, but now he's back there. He's doing, he's basically just bottling and putting the drinks into bottles and cans. So and he does that, and it's literally a conveyor belt work. You're very sleep deprived and long shifts. It's basically a sweatshop company, and they deprive them of their work. And I make all this up, but I'm sure some of it's copied from soaps and things, or real life. My imaginary friend Charles, who used to work with me, well, he still works with me. He rents a workshop here in the garden. He also rents a garage. We're building a new garage for him in the summer here. And he was going to retire this year because of his 6-month driving ban, and he's got issues with his back. But he'd finished building his car. He'd finished building his Cobra. So he's just working on his house, and he's still struggling because he divorced his wife Daphne, who was also imaginary, who did work with me, and she's actually going to be working with me again soon. So it's strange to have his ex-wife working with us, and they don't communicate very well, and even at the desk they don't communicate very well. But I'm going to have to get them talking. And she won't answer the phone to me because she knows I'm friends with Charles still. So it's a bit ummy when I keep ringing her phone. And yeah, I do talk to her, but it's very, yes, I will. I might come. I'll email you in 3 weeks, or I'll just put it off. So she's very difficult to speak with. And so, yeah, and then I've, my other imaginary friend who's Adam, he works with me, which reminds me, we're doing some work with the Nikon, which Anne gave me. Now, I lent the Nikon, which is £300 camera. I lent a £300 camera to a colleague, and he's really, really good with the camera. Now, he had some issues, but I think he said he damaged a filter. Now, I'm not worried about him damaging a filter because I have several filters here. He said he was struggling zooming in and stuff, and I think he got the zoom just right, and he was playing around with camera angles, and he really enjoyed having the camera, and he kept returning it and stuff. Now, he freelances for the company, so I only see him when I can, but we've now tied the freelancers in with the company, so there's no longer people working for the company and the freelancers, having different, they're all in unison. The only difference is the freelancers can work whenever they want. They can choose the job. They get to pick and choose the job. The people who work for us, they don't get to pick and choose. Now, Adam has decided to take on